The world we live in is unrecognisable to what it was 30 years ago. AI has heavily entered the workforce, occupying 40% of the world's white-collar jobs. The large-scale introduction of AI has caused job polarisation and unprecedented change. Large amounts of the population are now jobless or desperately searching for a new career. Jobs involving non-routine cognitive skills are now the only jobs available. Public unrest following the pandemic and the cost of living crisis only increased the implementation of AI into workforces. The advancements in technology were estimated to increase lifespan and give people more free time. Instead, AI has caused the middle class to dissolve towards the fringes of society, resulting in a major wealth gap never seen before in the UK. Society is now separated into the have and have-nots. Those who have adapted and work in corporate systems with AI, and those who have not and work independently, struggling to find their next paycheck. The capitalist society we now live in is dominated by a few companies. The power and importance of profits has enabled certain companies to gain more power and influence than the government itself. The blue world, which I'm describing, crushed the NHS, and access to technology and high-quality medical care is only available if you work for the correct companies. If we look at current demographics, the UK has growing issues as the population ages and mass migration is occurring. Extreme weather changes and general changes in many local climates have caused large populations from developing countries to come to the UK and try their luck in the capitalist society. The migration has been met with tension, and nationalism is now on the rise again. In 2021, CRAB estimated social unrest within the UK would rise due to issues regarding climate change, rising nationalism, and the wealth gap increasing. These estimates have all now turned into truths. These issues have caused the events industry to maintain white supremacy, and male dominance at the top still very much exists. With 40% of the UK now working in jobs they've never done before because of the pressures of the corporate capitalist system now running the UK, and some of this percentage of people totally jobless, social unrest is at an all-time high. This wicked problem and black swan for many is turning the UK into a hostile place to live as creativity is suppressed. Large amounts of the population who once comfortably worked within the events sector now feel excluded and disconnected from society. City centres now predominantly only accommodate the higher income corporate workers. With a dispersed, segregated and ageing population, it begs the question, what sort of music festivals happen in this conflicting society? Just like the rest of the country, music festivals are now feeling the issues of a societal fragmentation. For parts of society who can afford it, events have been pushed into the virtual world. However, the festivals organised and run by part of the population who feel disconnected to the current industry and society are producing events mirroring the past. Instead of using traditional greenfield spaces, professionally run music events now often happen in the virtual world. 2022 saw production costs rise by 30%, and these costs only increased. Festivals in the past often struggled to take profits, and VR music festivals have enabled companies to change this. However, VR festivals are only available for the few and are now seen to be less about transcendence and festivity and more about boasting how big your wallet is. The other festival sector, seen as chaotic by major event companies, has risen through the instability of the population. The social unrest has created a breeding ground for counterculture to emerge, and many young adults are now viewed as cultural rebels. Historically, music festivals have been liminal spaces which enable expression, social subversion, and free movement. Cultural rebels forced into uncomfortable living conditions by AI have created a festival movement which represents the historical definitions. The new free festival scene opposes the technologically advanced blue world. Unlicensed, unregulated, and often totally free, these festivals hosted by the displaced youth of today focus on participation instead of spectacle. As AI heavily dominates all walks of life, free festivals offer a place for pure human interaction, creating authentic cultural experiences and often involve drug taking, something new VR festivals cannot replicate. Today's UK could be compared to the 1980s, in which trade union strikes were happening, there was mass unemployment, and leaders at the top who believed there was no such thing as society. The youth of today hold many resemblances to the New Age travellers, and as a result, it is no surprise that events they're hosting are also similar. Although youth culture has rebirthed the free festival movement, the fact that society as a whole is missing human interaction has meant that these festivals are very much intergenerational. The idea that these events create total liminal spaces also help to break down issues very apparent within the festival industry. 3 festivals welcome people of all different races, ages and sexes. Counterculture has encapsulated the resilience of the festival industry. Within the austerity plaguing half of the population, creativity and adaptability have shone through. As capitalism takes over the industry via VR headsets, the deprived youth of today stand strong in the belief that humanness reigns supreme. As it stands currently, the UK is going to need a serious remedy to claw back unity lost years ago. I believe serious change will only happen in the form of desperation or disaster. With sea levels and temperatures increasing across every corner of the globe, the UK is not immune to the threats of natural disasters. A nationwide mission to turn the UK carbon neutral may increase social cohesion. Although possibly far-fetched, any recommendation right now would seem so. With society so fragmented, a plan to reach one unified goal through one common vision would potentially mean that society could work together again. In this possible future, working as one may have positive effects on togetherness, community, and may help overcome cultural differences. If wealth is pushed aside and wider issues, specifically the climate in this case, are brought to the forefront of people's focuses, then the event industry may benefit. Unless we're too late and the world has already combusted, festivals in this possible future may be able to merge the historic grittiness that the delinquent youth of today are creating with the technology of today and tomorrow. In all of the current disparity and uneven share of wealth, there is still some hope. If the UK is forced to change its capitalist system by the climate and society becomes more cohesive, I believe events in the future will mirror this sense of social cohesion. Instead of being split into 2 sectors, the industry can hopefully work together as part of a remedy to help create a less divided society. Thank you for listening to my Pecha Kucha.